Hey everyone, welcome to the video. Just thought we would dissect the winning lineup in my GPP this week and some of the sharps lineups as well. We will start with the winning lineup that had 220 points. They went with the mini stack of the Rams Saints game as most did. They paired Goff and Cup together, which I loved this week, as Cup was going to be guarded by our favorite corner PJ Williams. Cup was actually pretty quiet for most of this game, but he ended up having a nice catch and run that he took for a touchdown late in the game. He also used Michael Thomas, who is 1K too cheap to run it back, and he absolutely smashed. Marcus Peter was no match for him, and he burned him all day. Capri Bibbs was on my radar, but I did not have the guts to play him, but this guy did, at less than 1% owned, and he ended up doing what all running backs do versus Atlanta and scored through the air. CMC had a nice day, with Vita Vea out with the Tampa defense became even worse, and CMC took full advantage. He also took Cam's usual goal line work, which was nice to see if you owned him as well. Sutton was a free square, no need to go in depth here. Travis Kelce smashed against his hometown. Most of us didn't spend all the way up for him because of the value tight ends, but it ended up working out here, and he smashed at his home city. Chubb at 4,500 versus one of the worst defenses versus running back was a joke for someone who's going to see close to 20 touches. And we all wanted to pay it for the Bears, who were going against the worst quarterback I've seen in a while, Nathan Peterman. But it was pretty hard to get all the way up there, but they dominated in this one as expected. So now let's take a look at Chipotle's lineup. Okay, he actually did pretty poor, finishing near the bottom of this contest. He went with a full Viking stack, which I was not a fan of once Diggs was announced out. Diggs is so important to this offense, allowing the secondary pieces to run free. Cousins ended up having his worst game of the year, as did Thielen. I also think Treadwell is just a really bad receiver. I think PFF has him like 84th out of 87, I believe. And Rudolph had an excellent matchup, but this is really what he does, and you just have to hope he falls into the end zone, and he did not. He also ran it back with Marvin Jones as part of his game stack. He didn't do much. Hopkins was an excellent play, though, at that ownership. Roby was announced out, which I know he hasn't been the best this year, but it definitely helped out Hopkins, and he ended up smashing. In the Ravens, I did not like that play very much, but getting a defense that good at that ownership, I get it. And now we're going to look at EM2's lineup. He went with the chalk with Cam Newton, who was in a smash spot, but he ended up having a really weird day. And it was pretty unlucky as well, with his receivers getting all the rushing yards and McCaffrey punching it in each time. Chubb we already went over. Gurley, I wasn't too high on him with the the Saints rushing defense, and I just loved Goff and his receivers with the Saints legit rush D. They were pretty good. I know Gurley can get it done through the air, but he just didn't have one of his usual Gurley days. I kind of expected that. Marvin Jones, he used him to pivot off Galladay, I'm assuming. With Tate gone there, both were going to see an uptick. Sutton was a free square. We went over that. And Woods, I believe, was his pivot to the Cooper Kupp chalk. And Rudolph we already covered. Kamara was a great play going against the Rams D, who struggled to tackle in space. He, like Thomas, was 1K too cheap this week, and he really crushed. He looked really good in this game. And Broncos, I was on them at that price as well. They play pretty well. They play pretty well at home usually and can pressure the QB. They didn't do anything special, but they also didn't sink your team, and that's all you can ask for at that price. All right, guys, that's really all I have, and look forward to more videos in the future.